Hi, my name's Kevin, and welcome back to Tractors in Life. A sure sign of spring. That's the doors coming off of the tractor on the Curtis cab. So now Mother Nature will be my air conditioner for the season. So this video is literally going to be all over the place. As I stand here right now, I've got 3 days until my shoulder surgery. So what I'm trying to do is to get as much of my spring chores done as possible. It includes opening up the garden, getting the watering system in. I'm trying to do some snowplow damage, and the weather is not cooperating. This is literally the wettest spring I can ever remember. So we're gonna be all around. If you don't like one section, fast forward to the next, because we're gonna going from a little job to big job to little job to little job, and just kind of getting a lot of things done. Because the issue is that I'm gonna be in a sling for 6 weeks, and then they say physical therapy after that. So my summer is, it's toast. So I'm just trying to get done as much as I can, because I'm gonna be useless after that, even more useless than I normally am. So I wanna get as much done as I can. Thanks for joining us. Now let's get to work. Really happy with this Garvey fuel transfer tank. I'll put the link in the description. You can see how fast, as I make a mess, this diesel comes out. Of all my purchases, I really think this Black Horse Racing fuel transfer tank is my favorite. Really love everything about this. The hose, the nozzle, the 12-volt motor, just all quality stuff. I'll put a link in the description. Just makes it so much easier, it really does. Hey, just a quick reminder, we're really working hard to grow the channel, and if you enjoy this type of content, we sure would appreciate a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel. Thank you. This is really so sketchy. I have absolutely no room for error. Be able to see the forks. All right, so this is my Dirt Dog soil pulverizer. I've talked about this in videos before. I don't like it. The issue is these tines on the back. If you are trying to level an area that's got any type of sod grass or anything, even if you clear it, they bring up, it looks terrible. Matter of fact, I'll see if I can find it. There's a great clip from Tim Marks' Tractor Time with Tim when he used it, and he didn't like it either.
I tried to extend the top link here to get those teeth out of the way so that they wouldn't be dragging up like a rake, but I never got it to work really the way I wanted it to work.
Now, I thought maybe for Greg's yard here that soil pulverizer would do a beautiful job at leveling, and it did where we didn't have the sod. But where this sod was causing us trouble, it really, I don't know, maybe I just don't have the skill, but I couldn't make it do what I wanted it to do.
In the right instance, it can be great. If you've got a large area that all the soil has been stripped off of it and you're just doing like a final grade, I think it would be fine. I really do. But that's not what I do. So actually put it up on Marketplace. I sold it. I've had it a couple years. I'm pretty happy with what I got for it. Sold to a really, really nice guy. So he's going to come to pick it up, and we'll lift it up on his trailer with some straps or chains or something like that. But yeah, what I should have done is saved up some more money and gotten a power rake, or sometimes referred to a Harley rake. Those are tremendous. They work fantastic. And that's, if I replace this tool in the arsenal, that's what I'll do someday. But for right now, yeah, just gonna take some cash. By the way, here's the view looking down. Now, that was an oversized pallet, and as I come up to it, and I had the tiller on the back too, so I'm pretty long, you can see there is no room for error. As a matter of fact, a year or two ago, I think when I was putting it up there, I hit the rail on the garage door and destroyed it. I can't believe I did this. Take a look at this. This is the rail for the garage door opener. So putting the soil pulverizer up there, and yeah, I caught it. I've said before, were I to rebuild this barn, what I probably would have done is gone just another 6 foot in width. It's 30 by 40 right now. Either that or not put this back door in. Probably wouldn't like that because I do use that door, but I mean, I could do without it if I had to. That would have allowed me to push these pallet racks in and would give me plenty of side-to-side room. And, I suppose I still could do it. I could just eliminate the door and push these pallet racks in, but for right now, I just kind of deal with the tight quarters. Makes it tough on a big implement like that, a heavy implement. I didn't even have it balanced properly. It wasn't going anywhere. Both forks were in the middle of the pallet. But yeah, that is a mistake that I made in building this barn. Live and learn. All right, they're working. I just had to make an adjustment. So now they're getting wet. Getting wet. Getting wet. This is gonna be perfect. All right, so let me show you the watering system that we use. So this is obviously just a T-post. This is made, has a spike on the bottom, but with as loose as the soil is and then water pressure in that, I just don't trust it. So we've used a number of different systems in this garden, and this is gonna be the second or third year with this. By far, the best that we've had. Gives you 100% coverage in the garden. You can adjust the head however you see fit. And like I said, just kind of marrying it up to the T-post seems to work really good. Now, I'll need to run a hose. You can see here's the hose end from here to the next T-post, and I'll do that in just a moment. So all I do is kind of start it in the ground like so. You want to make sure that your head clears the T-post or you won't water on that side of the garden. And then I just use some zip ties. This one is actually UV resistant, but you know, it's only going to be up here for the season, so it's probably just kind of overkill. And all I do on these is, this is just meant for stabilization because of the water pressure. You know, these special side cutters for which are made for zip ties are really great. They cut it, they kind of recess the cut so that you can rub up against them and not get cut. I think we've all had those cuts. All right, so now I just got to connect these two sprinkler heads. So each of these are meant to be hosed in series. So here is where the hose from the house is going to come. And I just take this cap off. So this hose end goes in here. You don't want these leaking because obviously you're going to have a huge puddle in your garden. It just gets capped off. So that's what we have finished. One head there, one head there. So right there is where the water spigot is. So I've got the hose running there. Kind of comes up around here into here. So I just stretch this end over to the garden, and that's what gives me my water supply. It'll cover the garden completely. And obviously, you know, two ways you can adjust it. You can adjust the spray head. Of course, I can always adjust the amount of water coming in, so if my circumference is too big, I can lessen it. But really idiot-proof. Once you set it up at the beginning of the season, you're ready to go. Really like this system. This company's been around for, well, before I was born. Used to play hockey out at one of their farms. So if you watched our last video, you saw where the lion's share of this soil went into the garden. This is a high quality garden mix. So what I'm doing here now is just using the remaining soil to repair some snowplow damage, and this will get seeded and hopefully better than new. Snowplow damage here. Well, surprise, surprise. I don't know if you can hear the rain on the roof. Yeah, it's raining again. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this video. And please remember, please subscribe to our channel. We're trying to grow the channel. Sure would appreciate that. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time on Tractors and Life.